Hey guys, this is Life Peddlers and I am Srinivas. On this auspicious occasion of Navaratri, where goddesses are worshipped across our country for 10 long days, all I could think was violence against women and rape. If you are a girl who is born in India, at some point or the other in your life while growing up, you would have been told by your mother or a member of your family not to wear a skirt which might be too short, or not to wear a top which might be a little more revealing. And not only this, you also would have been told, beware of a stranger. Her family named her Twinkle because she was like a tiny little star. She and her younger brother were always seen laughing and playing in the village. Her grandmother used to dress her up for school every morning. Her neighbor, who has two daughters aged 2 and 18, used to give hugs and sweets whenever the boyish-faced 6-year-old used to stop by in front of his house. So, when he was seen on that particular day cuddling and giving her a toffee, nobody thought it was strange or something was amiss. But at dawn the next day, when her body was found in the dry desert bushes of Rajasthan, with blood spattering her tiny little legs and uniform, and a belt around her neck which the neighbor uncle had used to kill her to destroy the evidence after he had raped her, India woke up to yet another horror of sexual violence of its youngest victim. I can go on giving 32,000 plus examples of such reported horrors, which is a rape every 20 minutes. Out of these number of cases, 94% of the cases, which is 30,000 cases, were where the culprit was someone known to the victim. It's been 8 years since Nirbhaya had to sacrifice her life for yet another brutal crime of sexual violence for the whole country to wake up and do something about it in the right direction. But over the past few years, with such incidents on the rise, I think we are still in square one, as India ranks among the bottom 5 countries when it comes to safety of women. So, I wanted to dig a little deeper and find out what makes these men do such atrocious acts, which is alarmingly on the rise. A sexual offender can be anyone. I am not saying this to scare everyone of everyone else. I am saying this because there isn't a specific type which fits the description of a rapist. In the year 1976, Dr. Samuel Smith, who was pursuing his PhD at that time, published an unusual advertisement in the newspaper which read, "Are you a rapist? If yes, call such and such a number." Initially, he thought nobody would call for obvious reasons, but the phone rang not only once, twice or thrice, but it rang 200 times. The men he interviewed had diverse backgrounds, but what surprised him was how unconcerned they sounded when they were talking about rape. Let me make it very clear to you guys that rape is not a mental or psychological disorder, but a criminal offense. Although some rapists might have some psychological disorder, there is no such mental disorder which compels a person to rape. Evolutionary biologists argued that rape evolved to increase the reproductive success in men. However, me and you in general are of the opinion that rape has got nothing to do with lust or reproductive success, but it has got to do with issues of power, violence, urge to control and dominate. Also, in some cases, it could have been driven by hatred and hostility towards women. Extensive research in the past suggests that there are some commonalities, and I was more interested to look at it from a cognitive distortion perspective. Cognition means the mental process of perception, judgment, memory or reasoning. Today, let's look at these distortions and try to understand what might have triggered them. Women cannot be understood. In this distortion, rapists believe that women are fundamentally different from men and cannot be understood. To understand what might have triggered this distortion, let's go back to school days when boys and girls were made to sit in separate rows, or to a society which has always put a boundary around women for centuries until recently. With such precondition coupled with lack of sexual education and understanding of consent, they start believing if a girl says no, it actually means yes, or if a girl is dressed in a manner which accentuates her body a little, they think they are dressed like that to turn them on. Women are sex objects. The cognitive distortion makes them believe women are constantly receptive to men's sexual needs but are not aware about it. For this distortion, I blame the media for objectifying women in everything, starting from an advertisement of a toothpaste to the house we live in. Also, the body language used in these advertisements are something of a concern. So, the rapists start believing how they are dressed is more important than what they are saying, or women cannot be hurt by sexual activity alone unless they are physically harmed. Male sexual drive is uncontrollable. Rapists believe men's sexual energy can build up to dangerous levels if women do not provide them with sexual opportunity. And once aroused, it's difficult not to progress to an orgasm. I was also surprised to know that there is a culturally bound syndrome called the Dhat syndrome or the male sexual weakness syndrome, where men actually think they will become impotent if their semen flows out of their body through masturbation or any other means instead of a sexual intercourse. Entitlement. In a male-dominated country like India, where women are goddesses only in textbooks or mythological stories, but the reality is completely different, rapists think men's need, including sexual need, should be met on demand by women immediately. I cannot begin to explain how important it is to be surrounded by people who are better in character, mentally and emotionally. Also, it's high time we start teaching our sons how to treat a woman with respect and dignity instead of teaching our daughters to be afraid, cautious and vulnerable. I have seen many people, including men in power, commenting on social media saying the girl shouldn't have gone out at this hour, or the girl shouldn't have dressed in such a way, or she should have understood our culture, or in worse scenarios, they even have blamed the parents of a victim. However, I have not seen the same men commenting the culprit should have had sexual education growing up, or he should have understood what consent is, or we should make sexual education as a part of our school curriculum, or the rapist should be castrated for being guilty. With that, I want to leave you guys with the thought that we need more online platforms and applications which makes our young ones better human beings with character first, instead of great coders or doctors or engineers or entrepreneurs without one. As always, do something which you always wanted to do but you never had an opportunity to do, and make sure your health along with your sexual and mental health is your only priority and nothing else. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to it for more interesting topics. That's it folks. Thank you for watching. Be safe, be healthy and take care. Bye bye.